Right, folks, we're only 7 matches played this week. Welcome to DJ Living's Fantasy Premier League. Evening, folks, and obviously there's only a shortened week this week. There's only 7 games played this week due to the funeral for Her Majesty the Queen. There was policing issues, so they couldn't put all the games on, so 3 missing. But we'll quickly run down the league positions at the moment. So my team, counting on Conte, has gone to the top with 61 points this week, which I was pretty pleased with, on 460 total. Gary Britton is in second with 457, Andrew White with 450, and Lee Moores had an excellent week, 85 points, which I think, quick scan, 85 points was the best in the week. So well done, Lee, there. 85 points. He's bumped him up to 4th place with 446 points. At the bottom of the league at the moment is Selinam Kojo. Got a good, respectable 61 points this week. He's got 261 total now, and he's caught up quite a considerable chunk now. So he's looking to get off bottom place next week. Right, folks, let's look at last week's results. There was 23 goals in total and 4 clean sheets. Considering there were 6 teams that didn't play, that wasn't too bad at all. There was a few odd results. 6-2 Tottenham Leicester. Obviously Leicester, like I say, still only 1 point, so I was sort of expecting the win. But 6-2, 6 goals, and Son getting a hat-trick after having such a poor start to the season. Anyone that's got Son in the team will be very happy with that. He got 19 points for that, which we'll talk about a bit later on because he's in Team of the Week. Then we had Arsenal beating Brentford 3-0. Man City 3-0 winners over Wolves. Obviously, Man City and Spurs still 2 teams that are unbeaten. A good scoring game there, Forest and Fulham. Forest didn't quite manage the point, though. They lost 3-2 to Fulham at home. And we had only had the one draw. Newcastle-Bournemouth finished 1-1. Bit surprised that I thought Newcastle might have too much for Bournemouth, but they managed to hold strong and pick up the point. Right, top players so far in the league. This is throughout the whole of the season so far. The cream are starting to rise to the top a little bit. You'll notice with these ones. Haaland is top with 73. Harry Kane has got 50 points after the last couple of weeks, so 2 good games. Tony has managed 47 points so far this season, and with his performances this year, he's certainly called up for the England team, which was well deserved in my opinion. De Bruyne's got 45 points, and then you've got Saliba from Arsenal, 44 points, had a good game last week. Then Cancelo and Gross from Brighton have got 42 points. Right, as mentioned before, now we move on to Team of the Week. Right, there's a couple of surprises in this Team of the Week. Starting off with goalkeeper, Begovic from Everton got 9 points this week. Everton managing to nick that 3 points with a clean sheet at West Ham, but they were at home. So Begovic picked up that 9-point clean sheet. Defenders, Saliba got 15 points. Cancelo got 9 points. Mings from Aston Villa got 9 points. Another good result for Aston Villa. They managed to 1-0 win against Southampton, so they got a clean sheet as well. And then another Everton player, Tarkowski, obviously signed at the beginning of the season. He managed 8 points. Midfield consisting of 2 Spurs players. You had Heung-min Son managed 19 points, hat-trick, and played really, really well that game. And then Betancourt managed 12 points for us as well. And then Reed from Fulham got 10 points. There was 5 players in midfield that had 10 points, but Reed only 4.5 million just snuck in there as the Team of the Week midfielder. Then up front, we've got Harry Kane on 10 points. And then we had Isaac from Newcastle, got off the score sheet of his new club, got 9 points. And Mope, obviously, he's now at Everton. He managed the goal for that 1-0 win, like I said. He managed the goal in his new team as well, coming from Brighton. That was a good performance. So he got 2 new players on the score sheet this week with Isaac and Mope. Right, facts. Now on to the players to watch section. Starting off in goal. We'll look at goal and defender. They tend to go hand in hand a little bit. I'm looking at Sarr from Wolves, 4.2 million. And Kilman from Wolves as well, 4.5 million. I would have had Collins. He's had a great start to the season. Collins has been team of the week twice so far in 7 weeks. But he managed to pick up a red card in the last game. So he's suspended at the moment. So Kilman at 4.5 when he'll take his place. He's also been in team of the week once early on in the season. They are one of the better defences. They've only conceded 7 goals all season in 7 games. And they're up against West Ham. And unfortunately for the Hams fans this year, they've only scored 3 goals in 7 games, which is just not good enough for the Premier League at the moment. 3 goals, so I think they could get a clean sheet there, Wolves. Now looking at midfield, I'm looking at Almiron from Newcastle. Only 5 million. Had a good start to the season, Almiron, to be honest with you. They are away to Fulham, and although Fulham are doing really well, they're in the top half a dozen or so in the season so far. They have conceded 11 goals, which is the worst defence in the top 8. And then lastly, like I said, that New England man, Ivan Toney, for Brentford, who are away. All of my to-watch players seem to be away from home this week, but they are away to Bournemouth, and Bournemouth have conceded 19 goals this year, which is the second worst defensive record in the league, behind Leicester, who have conceded 22 goals, 6 of those coming against Spurs last week. So we'll start off with, there's 2 derbies this weekend. So the first one kicking off is the North London derby, Arsenal Spurs. I think this is possibly the tightest North London derby for a long time. Arsenal had it for a long time, and in Tottenham the last 2 or 3 seasons, they'll probably start to kick it up. I think both teams are real top 4 contenders, if not top 2, with Liverpool not performing so well this season. So that's an impossible game to call. But obviously my heart will go with Tottenham still. Bournemouth, Brentford. Like I said before, Bournemouth had a really poor defensive record. Brentford are flying high in the league, so I think Brentford will pick up the points there with a couple of goals there. I think, to be honest with you, Crystal Palace, Chelsea. Palace mediocrity again, and Chelsea are very hot and cold at the moment, but I think Chelsea should have enough for Crystal Palace. But obviously we've got another London derby there. But Chelsea by the odd goal, 1-0, 2-1. Fulham, Newcastle. Like I said, Fulham are doing really well at the moment, and Newcastle are not, although they had a good start to the season, they've plateaued a bit at the moment. So I think that could be a tough game. But Fulham, I think, might get the points there, in my opinion. Liverpool, Brighton. Brighton have started the season a storm, and a couple of weeks ago I'd have said this would have been a tough game for Brighton, but now losing Graham Potter, I think that could have an influence on the on the southern side. So I think Liverpool will 2-0 there, I think, for Liverpool. Southampton, Everton. Southampton lost last week 1-0 to Aston Villa, and Everton got their first win of the season. And although they are at home, I think they might kick on there and get another win at the Southampton team. Then we're looking at West Ham, Wolves. West Ham, like I say, scoring 3. They've not conceded an awful lot, to be fair, but they're still not doing very well in the league at the moment. So I think Wolves may have enough. It'll be a tricky game that could possibly end up with a 0-0, to be fair. Then we got the Manchester derby, Man City, Man United. Obviously, Man United lost their first 2 of the season, but then they won the next 4. And I think the break in the season has probably come a little bit at the wrong time for Manchester United. Man City will really solidify their title credentials, and I think there'll be an easy win there for Man City with Haaland, if he's playing. Obviously, he could be rested at some point, but Haaland will get another couple, I think. I can't see many teams stopping them this year. Then we've got Leeds, Villa. We've got both these teams in the middle of the table at the moment, with Leeds on 8 points and Villa on 7 points. But Villa, obviously, with that win last weekend, that'll be which is their second of the season. They could make this number 3, I think. But I think Leeds, for me, with the home field advantage, I'm putting Leeds in to win this game. And then Leicester, Nottingham Forest, battle of the basement. These are the bottom 2 teams so far, and who knows? This is a tough game. Forest have scored a few goals, as have Leicester, but both teams are conceding for fun. So this could be a high-scoring game. This could be a 4-2, 4-3, or a 0-0. Right, folks, that's it for this week. I hope you're enjoying watching Like I say, give us a little comment below if you are enjoying the season so far. Give us a thumbs up. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. And you can still sign up for the league. The details are in the description below. If you've had a team to start the season, the points will be added up straight into the league. If you haven't, come along anyway and enjoy some fun. And like I say, if you are in the league and you're watching these videos, put something down below and have a little bit of banter with each other, and we'll enjoy the season. So guys, thanks for watching, and we'll see you again next week where we look forward to a full round of fixtures. See you later.